And this is for you to write, like, what are your experiences with these cave challenges? Just like as Esther said, I have a problem with this tacit knowledge capture. Maybe writing in here, we want to aggregate just to see in which way to gear our discussion based on what most people find challenging in their current role. So just go ahead and type your challenges that you're facing, and we'll try to gear our discussion towards those.
And as not to overwrite each other, you can also drag some Post-its down into those areas as well.
This is a tough one because usually when you're rolling new systems, then you're relying on the integrator to train your users, because most likely no one in your team has used that before because they're new. So that's a tough one. Yeah, we actually for duplicate content, she worked on. Well, I was directly involved in a project that they had billions of documents, and they wanted to see how much of it was duplicate content. Turned out to be much more than they thought, and yeah, we actually were building a system that would flag duplicates for resolution or deletion. But yeah. Okay, here we're seeing a lot of governance issues that we have to do with metadata. And yeah, now with GenAI, there's an explosion of content and data, even within organizations. And these high turnover rates, I think, oh yeah, here it is as well. Because yeah, you can also have an impact with tacit structure capture, where your colleagues leave and they have specialist knowledge about specific projects or a specific part they were working on. And then it's not only about like filling their position, but learning from scratch how they were perform, how they were carrying on the task. Yeah, this definitely goes hand in hand with tacit.
Fernando, real quick, there's a common issue within our organization where captured knowledge, unstructured knowledge, I guess I should say that. I'm struggling to categorize it within these boxes. Where would that go?
What is the issue again?
So we would have, knowledge that's captured, but for example, in a OneNote notebook, and it's completely unstructured. So it's not really, we can't integrate it into large language model. It's not searchable. It's not findable, right? So what would that challenge be categorized as in here?
I would do either content explosion or collaboration silos. I would towards collaboration silos because that OneNote document probably just resides somewhere that is unreachable, especially because it doesn't have the metadata or the connections to be reachable. So
Got it.
I would
That's
lean-
interesting that you are leaning that way because silos, and I get it. I see it. It's a sort of a it's broadening my perspective because when I think of silos, I think of, maybe individual contributors having their own knowledge file repository, whatever. I think of those as silos. So in my example, the knowledge is shared, but in a very unstructured format. So I didn't consider that as silos.
Yeah, like the way I think about silos and the way I learned to look at it is that they come in not only like physically, but also the way we search and interpret them. And you can have a siloed document just because no one knows what to do or how to do it with it. Or you have entire repositories that are there and they're indexed and people can access them freely. But when you ask people, they're like, I don't know what's in there. Like, I don't know what to do with it.
It's not quite usable.
I don't know if I would have made that connection with documents in silos. I thought the silos was the way of working, not how we store documents. But makes sense if you put it that way.
Yeah, in the land of libraries, we call those hidden collections, where you have all of this content that's available, but because it's not categorized or
I
Or
absolutely love
cataloged.
the term hidden collections.
Yeah.
I'm coming back 2 days
So,
from now to
yeah.
my team. Hidden collections.
hidden collections, and that's again, it's a type of silo. So this content is in this, it's in this area over here. Nobody knows there. It's just kind of tucked away in a way because it hasn't been categorized. So that's also a very common problem with a lot of like tons of
This
content
term
across
made my day.
organizations. But it could help.
Thanks.
All right. And a little exercise. If you're done with your challenges, now I want you to kind of shift into pick your top 3 challenges that are kind of unique to you. And remember how we talked about interaction, completion, generation, and chain reaction? Think of if any of these use cases would help your challenge. Or you can think outside the box in this one. You can be as creative as you like. Just grab your 3 main challenges and go into, okay, I think what I need is completion, and justify why.
Okay, Fernando, can you give an example? Because I'm not sure if I understand.
Yeah. So what was your top creative challenge?
I think the simple one was like a list of SMEs that is not does not have to be manually updated, that everybody can access, especially with high turnover.
Me either. I could probably, yeah, I would here in interaction, I would probably create a me persona that trains on a specific role information, and then people can access his expertise. And so I would put that in here in interaction.
Would challenges around like culture, people, technology fit in there as well, or not really? Because I feel the challenges are focused on KM,
Yeah.
but the solutions are quite technocratic in terms of it's almost as if technology can solve some of the more people-oriented issues. So, is it okay to put, say, people or culture is an issue? Would that still be a challenge that you can put there?
Yeah, here it was more from a KI perspective, but definitely change management is a whole topic by itself. But yeah, we could consider adding it.
Well, but if KM involves change, because if there are certain ways of doing things, I'm coming from that perspective, but okay.
Anybody has a challenge that they don't know quite how AI can help them?
I'll be interested to move from conceptual to how to actually choose and apply it since I've got ideas.
Yeah, definitely. So this is more on the use case foundation. Like these days, more about use cases and foundation and introduction. Tomorrow is gonna be more about implementation and going a bit deeper into definitions and how to navigate through it with your use case in mind.
Yeah, this still helps to learn a little more detail what's out there and how other people are using it to give some ideas.
Yeah, this helps a lot because we've seen with our clients that usually they come with us suggesting a solution. They're like, oh, I want generative AI. Oh, I want agentic frameworks. And we're like, okay. But first, we need your use case. It turns out sometimes they really either were not prepared for a generative AI solution, and we needed to go back kind of to the basics and build their maturity so that their organization could support it. But so that's why this training is more first try making you think about the value you want to get out of AI instead of just solutions. Because then people are like, oh, that solution seems nice, like I want it. But if you don't have the end goal in mind, it could be the right solution, but it could also nothing.
Yeah, that was one of my challenges. I put down leadership they want Gen AI, they want a chatbot. That's what they want. Without thinking through what are the steps, because a natural language processor might be better for what we already have and could be faster, but it's just, like you said, what they want without actually looking back at what the goal is.
Perfect. So I think we can go on a little 15-minute break.
Yep, 15 minutes.
15-minute break. We'll be back at 3:05, where Jamaica will speak to us about risks and limitations of enterprise AI. And the case studies.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
What is that counter?
We can use the counter.
It's just whenever I share my screen, my Zoom disappears. I don't know why. No. Thanks. Or what's your solution?
There's a timer in Zoom that we can use.
Hey, Fernando
In
and
the apps.
Marika.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just thinking through my challenge and I couldn't articulate it soon enough. So the challenge that I put down is we basically have for a couple of groups where their knowledge resides in different platforms and systems and applications. And we are looking to launch a project to consolidate all of that content into a content management system. So in thinking about that, would it be a completion or a chain reaction solution?
I would say depends on the level of autonomy you're looking for. If you're gonna be doing the I don't want to call it like transplant, but the if you're doing the
Migration.
the migration, yeah, manually and just using AI for like the tagging and the metadata, I would say completion. But if you're actually using agents to drive the migration, I would say change reaction.
Okay. And maybe it can be a combo of both.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.